first talk about the geopolitics of the global south. From my understanding, the geopolitics has at least 5 dimensions. Yeah? So we have the technology competition, we have the military competition, meaning the competition with the global north. Yeah? It means, in the term of tricontinental, hyper imperialism. Yeah? With the hegemony in global south, we call this hyper imperialism. Then we have a third dimension, is the currency or the financial sovereignty dimension. Yeah? And then we have fourth dimension is the media and information control. And then the fifth is the sovereignty around the resource development to serve people, majority of people's interest. So how we do today in these 5 perspectives, I think we do great. This is not only because China, it's because we also, especially with Brazil comrades' efforts, actually we founded this BRICS platform. Yeah? First is BRIC, and then at South Africa. But South Africa's economic weight is still very limited. Yeah. Sorry to say that. The BRICS together, China, Russia, Brazil. Now we have Iran also in BRICS. Yeah? And we have India. Yeah? So those countries together, in the technology space, actually we almost, we can say, same competing with the global north. Yeah? And we don't need to go to the details. Actually, we control a large part of the industrial foundation for technological development. So the output, the manufacturing value added of China already surpassed the total of American, Germany, and Japan combined. Yeah? And then if you add Russia, India, Brazil, yeah, so we are more than the G7. Our industrial manufacturing value added past them already. Yeah? And then the thing is, more we produce our own technology. They cannot, then we break their monopoly in the technology products. They have to reduce their price. Yeah? And we win the market share together. We win the market share. And to leave less revenue for them to do the R&D. They already do very costly R&D. Think about the engineer salary in Germany, or think about the software engineer, the AI engineer in America. Yeah? So it's very costly. They do their R&D. There's no money for them. So they're running out. Yeah? They say, oh, we have this OpenAI, this company, yeah, and we have Microsoft, we have Amazon. It's so-called the 7 sisters. Yeah, those 7 sisters are the high tech company that make actually the 40% of the capitalization of the U.S. stock market. Yeah. The other companies not doing well, but we see this is a bubble, huge bubble in this so-called 7 sisters. Yeah, and the bubble will go down every minute. Yeah, and then when the bubble come down, you will see the reality. And what did they do? The American so-called innovation, the economists actually discovered last year. Without the investment in the data center in the US, the economy just grew 0.1%. Even they build a lot of data center there, what are the applications? This is very little applications actually in the US society because they don't have an industry. You need the industry to apply your AI solution, where we have here in Brazil, in China, in India, in Russia, yeah, and even in Iran. Those applications for the AI system. So in this space, we think we win. Yeah. Even people ask, okay, how about other fundamental science like chemical, biomedicine? Can tell you, 2/3 of the new patents actually made in China, yeah, and many made in India. So in that space, they fell also. And the only company we need to pay attention maybe is Tesla, because the Elon Musk is a very crazy guy, yeah, and don't know where he is, from Earth or from Mars. China wonder, yeah, and he can accomplish things. He can still build in America, yeah. Not only Tesla, he can build the robotics, yeah. But he's desperate 2 months ago and say, America cannot compete in the robotics and in the AI computing. Why? Because there's not enough electricity produced in the US. Yeah, no way. And if you overhaul your electricity grid, you need a lot of transformators. And those transformators are all made in China. Yeah. And Huawei also make good, actually, the transformators for grid. Yeah. Huawei is a great company. Yeah. One Huawei is actually 20 US European companies. Yeah. But people will ask why Huawei can be so successful. Because the Huawei have a socialist value in their system. Yeah. The owner, Lin Fei, only get 1% of the company share, and other 90%, the profit will be distributed by all the employees, by the 200,000 employees. This is why the engineers don't leave. They just stay in Huawei, do new business, not do the spin-off like in America, like other company in China, like in Europe. This is socialist value actually contributed to Huawei can so great. Yeah, it means it actually proven what Marx said. If in the highly developed stage of the production, we say the knowledge production, R&D production, the old model of the surplus maximization, yeah, the very crude methodology of the exploitation doesn't work for people anymore. So you need the emancipation model for human, and then people can fulfill their objective in creation, good things, yeah, values, and then you can increase the productivity. Yeah? Huawei actually proved that. Many companies in China, they start to learn from Huawei. Yeah? Many companies in China, I have to say, private companies still capitalistic think, yeah, capitalistic mind, traditional capitalist mind, but they are doing very poor in their competing sector. Yeah? So they needed to learn from Huawei and to learn how to become a socialist. And in the second space is the military. In the military, you see what in the Iran conflict, in this war, Iran resisted Israel and America. They struck well. Yeah. Now 3 American embassies already got hit, and 3 so-called anti-missile interception system, THAAD, T-H-A-D, already destroyed. Yeah. And the main media didn't report much, I think. Yeah. Main media didn't report much. Actually, reporters say already 400 US soldiers got killed. Yeah. But people don't know. Yeah. The Washington just downplay. They just distribute other fake information. Yeah. And they pretend they have enough munition to intercept Iran's drones, Iran's cheap-made, self-made missiles. But this war is costly for America. Yeah. Longer this war drags on, the Americans' empire power will go down. Yeah? And don't forget, Russia is fighting another war in Ukraine against NATO. So the imperialists actually run out of the munition because they don't have the solid manufacturing base anymore. They outsource it to all these countries. Yeah. I don't know how quickly they can rebuild the base using Japan or South Korean support. Yeah. This is great, vital for America to keep Japan and South Korea in their military so capability building, keep their strength still. But another example, this time Iran targeted so precisely, not only because reported to say Russia provided the location of the American fleet, yeah, and American units in moving. China private companies, satellite companies, also provided a very precise coordinator for the Iranian people to strike. But also very important, last year, after the June 12 days fight, Iran actually moved from the GSP to the Beidou, to the China satellite navigation system. How could you think the Americans allowed Iran to fight a missile on their Saudi embassy with their GPS? Yeah. And you see the picture, it's very precise. Actually, they hit the building in a high precision. Yeah. So this is what all the Beidou system, China system about. But how China developed the Beidou system? 30 years ago, China didn't have money, didn't have technology. And the GPS is a monopoly. And China said, oh, we made to do another alternative system in the navigation. We cooperated with the EU, with Europe. Europe have a kind of system called the Galileo system. Yeah. And China paid money and won't be there. The project didn't go very well, and especially they don't want China to learn how to build the system. China was forced then to develop their own Beidou system. There's a lot of internal resistance against China's own investment. They say this cannot make sense. Yeah? You are, as a later come, there is already American GPS, the European Galileo, and there is also Russian system exists. Why you do your own? And time proves this is right. Yeah. In military area, you cannot really depend on everyone else. Yeah. But I also learned, actually happily to learn, in the drone production, Brazilian manufacturing, Brazilian industry was very innovative. They actually provide a lot of special kinds of the drones here for the defense and also for other use, for other peaceful uses. So the military so-called superior position of the hyper-empirism actually down. Yeah? Russia alone can actually oppose all the forces of NATO combined. Yeah? And the third dimension of the hegemony is finance. In that space, I have to admit, we made just a little progress with BRICS Bank, with so-called Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank. Yeah? Not much progress because we still dependent on the US dollar. So you can say only Russia actually had the full sovereignty in the financial space. Yeah? The cost is 300 billion US or Euro assets of Russia frozen in the Brussels. Yeah? In the Brussels. They discussed to confiscate or not. And China, the trouble with China is we have 1 to 2 trillion US assets still in the bonds or in the part of our state treasury, part of companies, private persons deposit in the US dollar. And also our banking system in the past 4 decades actually really, how can I say, built according to the Western model. Yeah, so our commercial banking system, and this has consequences. Yeah, and the CPC is not happy with this, what happened, what existed in today's banking sector. So Xi Jinping called repeatedly to really restructure and to actually adjust our financial sector and make the financial sector work for the purpose of people, yeah, not for themselves. China financial industry worked for themselves for over 20 years. So the GDP of the financial section in China is 8% of the GDP. And guess, the OECD, all these 13 OECD members, in average, their financial sector GDP is only 4.2%. So almost China got doubled. Make no sense. And who is also high is America. America is also 8%. But we understand America economy entered into this fictive economy, virtual economy, financial economy 30 years ago. And American actually served all the capitalists in the world. So they created a large portion, for sure. China only served the economy in China. Why they charge so high? No? The financial burden, the so-called value added of the financial sector, actually economically interpreted is the cost to the economy. So it means China had high financial costs for their economy. This is why it makes people in China in the real economy unhappy, yeah? And make the decision making unhappy. Yeah? Just one example, in the 20th CPC, National Congress, where we elected our Central Committee member, 200 Central Committee members, 0 from the financial sector. There are some in this whole candidate member, there are some, but in this ordinary member, 0. Yeah, in the media and information perspective, the battle in here, we also lag behind, for sure. Yeah. Also, we see improvement because we have the social media, we have independent voice now expressed. But think, all this social media, all the influentials, they have to use some platform to actually distribute their voices. And those platforms, with only one exception, all controlled by the US, right? Which exception? TikTok. It's only TikTok. Yeah. So I asked Nina from the Brazil Department to move to TikTok. Yeah. And but you know, TikTok in American already fell. Yeah, because US control the TikTok content creating in America. But it's still free in Latin America, other countries, and there's still TikTok is independently in Europe, and they're still free in Africa. Yeah. And I heard from the friend from the Socialist Party in Germany, Die Linke, and the young parliamentary said to me that their party 2 years ago they could win for 8%. Actually, almost they cannot win. Yeah? People say they just got 4%, 3%. In Germany, you need to win 5% more, and then you are in the parliament. And they don't win 8%. So why? They said TikTok helped them. Yeah? So only TikTok platform, which now follow the main media voices, the traditional Western main media, they all created the fake news. This we are weak, But how we change this, I think, is only in the concerted effort of the BRICS, with Russia, with Brazil. I'm very happy I met some friends in the media space beyond Brazil, also Pepper Cospa is a name. Yeah, Pepper. Now he's living in somewhere in China, and Russia speak a lot with his work with RT. I know today we have also RT friend here, right? So Russia Today, and I went last year to the 20th birthday, anniversary day of the Russia Today in Moscow, where President Putin also attended this event. And when I saw Moscow, RT is the place that actually mobilized, they connected a lot of international social influentials, even including many of America, to work in the RT platform. I think China, we say, in that event, we say, China, we should learn from RT, yeah? We hope our CGTN one day also can host so many diverse correspondents from the global south, yeah? And then to make our own voices. Yeah, this day will come. So if we in the RT, maybe we need to do a global RT radio broadcasting. Yeah, maybe we need to do a RT channel, not RT, BRICS channel. Yeah, to present the global south's voice. I think we can do that with technology. China, Russia, and Brazil actually possess. Yeah. And the last dimension is the resource control, which is very important for a country like Brazil, but also for many Africa countries. Yeah. And so here, actually, the national government, the national bourgeois, don't have the same. Yeah, it is actually embedded in the big international capital cycle, the capital reproduction. So this issue also cannot solved individually by country. So it is need more big community to work together. And this has also to do with the de-dollarization. For example, how we determine the price of the soya beans, yeah, coffees, yeah, and other big commodities, and it's now determined by Chicago futures. Yeah, so it's actually they make their financial gain there. Yeah, so it's linked to the third dimension, the financial and currency sovereignty dimension. Yeah, we are. I would say, in media, maybe in 5-10 years, we may make big progress. But in this currency, I'm more cautious. Yeah. But still, we can say we win already half. Yeah. So in technology space, in military space, we win. And in the media, maybe 50%, we have the hope. And then, okay, so this is a good base for us to consolidate us, yeah, to move on.